Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the recap of EPW's Goldrush 2012. The night that it was all about the gold, and what a night it was. Thank you for joining me, Davis Storm.
Pleasure again, Dean.
It was one jam-packed, action-filled evening for everyone concerned, and it all kicked off with a match between Sebastian Sander and Hollywood, Kyle Steria. Now these guys are no strangers to each other. They put on one hell of a contest, but these stakes were quite high to begin with. The winner of this match would be entered at number 30 in the Rumble. The loser had to start at number 1.
Obviously a huge advantage or a huge disadvantage depending on the result of this match. And from the result of the match, it was just a bad start to the night for the entourage. Kyle Steria going down to Sebastian Sander. Again, he had a fantastic opportunity to win the match. Hayden Zenith blew it for him.
Second month in a row.
That's twice, and obviously unacceptable to Kyle, who's just on the verge of contesting for the EPW title. Very upset at his team, and William Darcy, he was on the rampage.
That's right, William Darcy protecting his number 1 client.
And he didn't just get rid of Hayden Zenith and Leo Pratt, replaced them with the EPW Tag Team Champions, Jay Taylor, AZ Vergara, seemingly in the camp of the entourage.
That's right. I even said on my commentary this evening that William Darcy has tried so hard from day one in this company to get some gold in the Darcy agency. He went out and bought it.
Well, he did, but unfortunately for him, Nate Dooley making an EPW Tag Team title match right here tonight at Goldrush between the Schmitz and his new clients, JT and AZ. And again, the night just went from bad to worse for the entourage.
That's right. It was not a good night for the entourage one bit. William Darcy would be kicking himself. Later on the evening, the TaylorMade Diamonds, the EPW Tag Team Champions, had to put those titles on the line up against the brothers Schmidt. Now, Bruiser Barry, Gorgeous Gary, they've been having one hell of a run lately in EPW, and it really was their night. The TaylorMade Diamonds cut every corner, used every dirty trick in the book, along with William Darcy at ringside, still not enough to beat the Schmidt.
Wrestling's funny. Sometimes momentum plays a huge part, and the entourage, it seems like a sinking ship at the moment. AZ and JT have been the tag team champions since, I think, May or July last year, and they've been traveling really well, plenty of title defenses, managed to escape with the belts all this time, and now finally tonight at Goldrush, new EPW Tag Team Champions, Gorgeous Gary, Bruiser Barry, the brothers Schmidt.
Just goes to show, William Darcy, you cannot buy EPW gold. And after that, things got even worse for William Darcy. Kyle Steria tore up his contract with the Darcy agency. I can't wait to see what happens next.
The Darcy agency seemingly no more. He fired 2 of his clients earlier tonight, Leo Pratt, Hayden Zenith, and then JT, AZ Vergara, and Hollywood Kyle Steria gave him the boot. So what's next for William Darcy? I have absolutely no idea, but no clients.
Just goes to show, when you think things can't get any worse, they clearly can. Next, we had an absolute treat of a matchup. 2 of South Australia's finest tag teams putting on an absolute clinic here in EPW.
Sex Rock, who we've seen before, the team of Elliot Sexton and J Rock, coming back from South Australia and bringing a team that they've actually been feuding with over there, the Armstrong brothers, Nick and Jet.
And I tell you what, the Armstrong brothers were a sight to be seen. These guys were fast and furious from start to finish. The match was absolutely phenomenal. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not see this match, you missed out on an absolute hell of a match.
What we had tonight was the grunt and power of Sex Rock against the high-flying ability of Nick and Jet, the Armstrong brothers. Fantastic tag team. They absolutely set the crowd alight here tonight. Some incredible maneuvers, some of the most innovative stuff I've...
Lightning quick tag team. Alex, Sexton.
Hey, let me tell you something.
You're out of frame with...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you for joining us.
Let me tell you something. Armstrongs, you want to follow Sex Rock to Perth? We came here first. You want to follow in our footsteps? There's just one problem, boys. Have you seen the size of my feet?
They're quite big.
They're massive. I'll leave a footprint so big, you'll never be able to feel it.
So how did you go in the Rumble?
Just don't mention that. Can we... Look. The Rumble's not important. I was about to go on Dick Punch-a-Palooza when that douchebag Jet Armstrong threw me over the top rope. Unfortunately, I didn't win the title, but next time, Perth, things will be different.
Thank you for joining us, Elliot Sexton. Please do come back to EPW soon.
Don't hurry back.
Following up that matchup, we had a one-on-one, no disqualifications matchup between Chris Bice and the Blackest Hours Dorian.
Chris Weiss lived up to his nickname tonight, the Smashing Machine. Dorian is one of the most intimidating wrestlers on the EPW roster, and Weiss just obliterated him. Beat him up all over the arena, dragged him into the ring, tombstoned one of the biggest men on the EPW roster with ease, and put him away for the 1-2-3.
I've never been surprised by the strength of Chris Weiss, but that was just an amazing feat by the big man. And afterwards, Dan Moore came rushing into the ring, steel chair in hand, to get some retribution for his fallen brother-at-arms, Chase Griffin, of course, the Blackest Hour took out at EPW Origin. But Rick Sanders intervened and got Dorian the hell out of the way.
Well, Dan Moore obviously extremely pissed off. His tag team with Chase Griffin, right in contention for the EPW tag team titles. Obviously, that team is no more.
Well, we don't know. He's out indefinitely. As far as we can see, Chase Griffin will not be back in EPW. It's very sad and just goes to show how dangerous the Blackest Hour really are. But nonetheless, the future, Dan Moore, has the future set on the Blackest Hour.
Well, the thing I was going to say, Dean, is although it's selfish for us to talk about the EPW tag team titles, it's obviously very personal for Dan Moore. Chase Griffin, one of his best friends for a lot of years now. They've wrestled together as a tag team for a lot of years. And the Blackest Hour have said that their focus this year is to hurt, maim, and destroy. And it's pretty clear that Dan Moore isn't going to take that lying down, out for revenge. And he just seems like his attitude is to throw caution to the wind and tackle this beast head on. It's going to be pretty exciting to see what happens over the next few shows.
Now joining us to talk about the humongous main event of EPW Goldrush, welcome the head of the board of directors, Nate Dooley.
Thank you, Dean Olsen.
Well, this was a huge main event. It wasn't just a Rumble, it was the very first EPW Championship Rumble. 30 men, not just from within Perth, not just from within EPW, but from all over this country, coming to compete for what I consider to be the #1 title in Australian wrestling.
No doubt about it. The stakes do not get any higher. The action was truly awesome. We had people from all across the country, from Victoria, from South Australia. We had Sexton and J-Rock. We had the Armstrongs. We had Warship from Victoria. We also had Rick Sterling from Queensland. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it was one of the best Rumbles I've ever seen in my career.
Probably pays tribute to how highly the EPW title is held in Australian wrestling. Guys like Rick Sterling flying himself over to compete, and he was very, very impressive.
Absolutely. Look, there were plenty of people who made huge impressions in this Rumble. Paul Steria, as I said, so close to the EPW Championship at the moment, and he survived from #1. Toughest position to enter in any Rumble. It was going to be the toughest ask, and I think he lasted until 2021.
22.
Amazing.
22. Lukey and myself were taking note. He lasted 22 people. Amazing stuff by Hollywood Kyle Steria. While he may not have won tonight, his future's definitely looking very bright.
Another one, obviously, Chris Weiss. As I mentioned earlier, just completely on a roll at the moment. They call him the Smashing Machine. He rolled right through JT and AZ, who looked impressive in the Rumble.
And, of course, a tiny bit of controversy. He eliminated Marcius Pitt while the referees were trying to get the tailor-made garments back to the backstage area. And Pitt got straight back in the ring. And conveniently, when the referees were paying attention, he eliminated Chris Weiss. So it was a bit sad to see him go out like that.
Look, Dean Olsen, I've said it before. You do what you can to win the belt. You do what you can to hang on to the belt. When the stakes are this high, all bets are off. The referees simply didn't see Marcius Pitt being eliminated. If I was in his position, I would have done exactly the same thing and snuck back into the ring. And he did, and he eliminated Chris Weiss.
These things happen. The match did continue, and what a match it was.
I think there's another man we want to mention. Not the winner of the EPW Rumble tonight, but Mad Mike Massive. Fantastic effort, throwing bodies around at will. I don't mean to be punny, but he really did make a massive impact here tonight.
He certainly did. He just commands respect when he got into the ring. You see the look in the EPW wrestlers' eyes when they saw this man mountain stepping through the ropes. The crowd went berserk for him. For a guy who's never been on an EPW show, he just had legitimate size on his strength, and they knew he was going to be hard to throw out. Once he got through those ropes, he was nearly unbeatable in this Rumble.
I hate to batter out a tired old cliche, but he really was the immovable object. I had no idea what it was going to take to get that man over the top rope and to hit the floor.
Actually, Alex Kingston was very impressive as well. Went toe-to-toe with Marcius Pitt and did not look out of place. He'd obviously been away from the shows for a little while and hadn't seen the sort of guys progress. And he's definitely a guy who, when I came back, has just come in leaps and bounds. He was very, very impressive as well.
It came down to Sebastian Sander, Alex Kingston, and Marcius Pitt. Things looking all good for Team All-Star. Alex Kingston was almost out of the ring, and then due to him trying to get back into the ring, allowed Marcius Pitt to eliminate Sebastian Sander.
one of those miscommunications in wrestling. I mean, you could obviously tell Alex Kingston was very, very upset that it happened. Sebastian sounded even more so upset. But that's the brace. And Kingston, like I said, really showed a lot of guts and intestinal fortitude, and wasn't the crowd behind him.
No doubt about it, and rightfully so.
But we can't discount the eventual winner, Marcius Pitt, coming in fairly early in the Rumble, lasted 20+ minutes, eliminated plenty of people, and obviously the last man standing here in the EPW Championship Rumble. Nate Dooley, at Origin, you stood toe-to-toe with Marcius Pitt and told him that he was not a legitimate champion and stripped him of the EPW title. What do you have to say now?
Look, I mean, there was guys coming up to me in the back as we were watching that all progress in the ring, and they were saying, well, what do you think about Marcius Pitt winning the title? And I'm happy for him to win the title like that. I didn't have a problem with Marcius Pitt being the champion. I had a problem with the way he became a champion. That's not the EPW title. That's not the promotion that we fought hard for over the last 10 years. That's not the promotion that he's going to, captain into the next however many years as the champion. He was very impressive in the Rumble. He earned the title, and he is a fitting champion. It's one thing I really want to make clear to all the EPW fans, and certainly to you guys sitting here. I don't have a problem with Marcius Pitt as a champion. I had a problem with the way that he became a champion. He went through 29 guys, won a Rumble, one of the most incredible Rumbles we've ever had in this promotion, and he walked out the champion just like he said he was going to.
You can't help but have respect for Marcius Pitt. This guy really is one of the guys who is going to drag EPW into the future. Things have changed around here, and Marcius Pitt is a name to watch. So Nate Dooley, Collision Course, May 26, Explosive Pro Wrestling. What is next for the EPW champion, Marcius Pitt?
It's an interesting question. I didn't know what was next for the title. I didn't know what was next for the champion. But there was a man in the Rumble who made a very big impression on me. He made a massive impression on the fans. And I'm certain he's going to make a massive impression on Marcius Pitt at Collision Course. Just be with me one moment, gentlemen.
Well, a lot of wrestlers made a terrific impression here tonight. Whoa.
Oh.
Marcius Pitt, I made it very clear. I don't have a problem with you as champion. I had a problem with the way that you won the title. And at Collision Course, you're going to have a massive, massive man standing across the ring from you, one-on-one.
Marcius Pitt, I'll give you credit for winning that gold tonight. But come May 26 at EPW Collision Course, you've got a massive mountain to climb.